So it makes sense what I just did, Bridget?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to go ahead and share your screen and show me what I just did. Explain to me how we figure out, how we do the pedigree analysis, and how we figure out which one of those three answers is the right answer.
How do I do that?
Go to that green button that says share screen at the bottom. Click it.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Just gonna open the.
You have to have the PowerPoint pulled up. Do you get it, Liz? Does it make sense to you?
No, I got lost.
Okay. Were you paying attention or did you have work to do?
No, I was paying attention.
Unbelievable.
I just assumed they were
Oh yeah,
dominant
well,
because they
yeah.
were all
Well, I just
shaded.
no, because you weren't paying attention because you were doing something else. Yeah, no, you can't.
No,
You can't.
I'm serious.
You can't watch for like 80% of the time and be like, "Nah, I know what he's doing. It's just the alphabet."
No, but wait. Well, I'm just confused. Like, why were you saying the shaded ones were recessive?
I didn't say the shaded ones were recessive. I said the shaded ones are showing the trait. We have to figure out, is this pattern recessive? Is it dominant? Is it sex-linked? Is it autosomal?
Yeah,
That-
but how did we know the not shaded ones were dominant? Did it say it on there? Did I miss that part?
no. What I'm saying is we're just pretending.
Yeah, so how do you know what's recessive and what's dominant?
Because it's telling us what the options are. You weren't paying attention. Here, let me do it
No,
again.
but like if it's
It's
shaded,
okay. Just
right?
just say you weren't paying attention. That's fine. I'm not gonna be upset.
No, I was paying attention.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll do it again, Liz. That's fine. But just tell me that you weren't paying attention.
Like, okay, what does shaded mean? Shaded
Shaded
means that it's showing the trait.
is showing the trait. We don't know. We don't know what if we don't know if the trait is autosomal recessive. We don't know if it's autosomal dominant. We don't know if it's X-linked recessive. That's what the question is
Mm-hmm.
asking us to figure out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's saying, okay, based off this girl is showing the trait. Okay. Let's say the trait is for red hair. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Shaded means that the person is showing red hair.
Red hair. Okay.
If they're not shaded, they're not showing red hair. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So is this person showing red hair or is this person not showing red hair?
Which one?
Yeah, I told you everything.
I
This one
can't see
right here.
your. Okay. Okay, there you go. That
This
one's
person
showing red hair.
showing. Is this person showing red hair or not showing red hair?
No,
No. Why?
because it's not shaded.
Because it's not shaded. Good. How about this one?
Yes,
Yes. Why?
because it's shaded.
How about this one?
Yes,
Yes. This one.
yes,
This one.
yes, yes, and yes.
Okay, good. How about this one?
No,
No. Why?
because it's not shaded.
Because it's not shaded. So what does shaded mean?
That it's red hair. That it's showing the trait.
That is showing the trait. Okay. I want you to forget all your BS about, oh, shaded means it's always down. No, it doesn't always mean. It doesn't always mean it's recessive. It doesn't always mean, all it means is that person is showing the trait. What trait are we talking about? Doesn't matter. Whatever trait we're
Red
talking about.
hair, whatever.
Right now we could
Yeah.
be talking about red hair. Tomorrow we could be talking about like long nose, whatever we want to talk about. The pedigree analysis, what it's showing me is, um, can you see this?
But like in my mind, when I saw it, I just assumed because most of them were shaded that it was just gonna be dominant.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that's
what I
wrong.
thought too.
That's wrong. That's what I'm trying to.
Why? Because look, it literally the
Because
dominant,
just
the shaded
because
ones win.
yeah, not shaded ones win. Shaded ones mean that they're showing. But what you can have, is it possible? Here, let's go up here.
Well, like meaning that if we had more blank circles or squares, then it would be not showing the trait, so it would be
Not
recessive,
always.
right?
But that's why you have to do the analysis. You have to do the analysis to figure out, is it a recessive trait? Is it a dominant trait? Is it excellent? Okay. So let's go up here to the very basic version of this. Okay.
Why they gotta make everything so complicated?
It's not. It's not. You're trying to force it to be something. Don't force. Here. Yeah. Here. Okay. So what does it mean when it's little p here? Is it white or purple?
Recessive, white.
It's white, right? White is only going to show
Mhm.
when it's what?
Recessive,
Okay, so you told me white is going to show when it's recessive, right?
right.
You told me that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's just use the same exact example, okay? Screw red hair,
Mhm.
screw everything. We're doing purple flowers and white flowers, okay?
Okay.
So white flowers is what we're trying to look at. When does something show up as
Mhm.
a white flower? Okay?
Mhm. When there's
Um,
two little pieces.
two little p's, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Now, let's go all the way back here. Now, I'm telling you, I want to know when something is a white flower, okay?
Mhm.
So I'm telling you this one right here
It's a white flower.
is a white flower.
Okay, well, where is it telling me that? Like, where do, like, when I read the question, I don't see, I see what you're saying with the flower example. I don't see what, I don't know. But
Give me a
I see
second.
what you're saying with the white flower.
Give me a second. Give me a second. We're just automatically we're assuming things. We're labeling things. It's just saying that there's a certain trait that is showing up here,
Mhm.
and it's showing up
Mhm.
here, and it's not showing up here. Okay?
Okay.
So this one is showing up with it's showing that trait. This one is not showing that trait.
Right.
Okay? But it's not telling us anything about dominant versus not dominant. It's not telling us that. It's just showing us
Mhm.
this has the trait, this one doesn't. This has a trait, this one doesn't. This has a trait, this one doesn't. This one have the trait, this one doesn't.
Mhm.
Okay. Now it's asking us based off of just this information. It's not telling us, okay?
Mhm.
It's not telling us that uh every time it shows up, it's always going to be dominant. Because over here it showed up and it was recessive. See how it's shaded, but it's recessive here? It's recessive
Mhm.
here. It's recessive, recessive, recessive. Little f, not big F. This is just
Mhm.
show anytime the pedigree is shaded, it's just showing you that the trait is showing up. It doesn't tell you anything about the genotype. It doesn't tell you
Yeah. So in my mind, I was just thinking, the more shaded stuff there is, that's what it would be.
right, and
Like,
that's wrong. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's wrong. Don't think of it like that.
okay.
So I'm trying to break that out of your mind. When it's showing up and when it's showing up shaded, it just means that the trait we're concerned about, that the trait we're looking at, it's showing up. The trait that we're
Okay.
looking at is attached earlobe. Okay.
Okay.
We want to see when is it attached. Well, in this guy, it's attached. In this guy, it's attached. In this guy, it's attached. In this
Mhm.
girl, it's attached. In this girl, it's attached. Okay.
Mhm.
So we're just looking at the trait. Is it showing up or is it not showing up? And based off of who it's showing up on, we're trying to play Sherlock and figure out if it's dominant or recessive.
Okay.
So we're just seeing that okay, something is happening. Now it's asking us to figure out, well, based off of this information, is it dominant or is it recessive? Is it X-linked or is it autosomal?
Mhm.
Okay. So something is happening. It's showing up here, it's showing up here, it's showing up in this girl, this girl, this girl, this girl, and it's showing up in this guy. Okay?
Right.
It's showing us the grandparents, the kids, and then the grandkids. Make sense?
Mhm.
It's showing us the males and the females. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's basically saying we have enough information to now go through and figure out, is this a recessive trait or a dominant trait? Is it X-linked or not X-linked? Okay.
Okay.
And so we have to go and reverse engineer it. Okay. So we're saying, okay, I don't know if it's recessive. I don't know if it's dominant. I don't know if it's X-linked. Right? The
Okay.
question is asking us to figure it out, right? It's saying, is it
Right.
recessive? Is it dominant? Is it X-linked recessive?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's asking us to figure it out.
Yeah.
So now what I'm telling you to figure it out, let's just assign values to it. Okay? It's kind of the
Okay.
same. It's the same way how if I told you, I have to come with a good example.
Okay. So, for example, if we said
Hold on,
that
let me finish.
the
3 plus x equals 5. Okay? And now they're going and saying, figure out what x is. Okay? And then I have multiple choices. It's saying A is x1, B is x2, C is x7. Okay? What I'm telling you to figure out x, I'm saying one way to do it, especially with these pedigrees, let's just say, let's plug in these values. Let's say x was 1. Does that work? 3 plus 1 equals 4. It doesn't equal 5, right? 3 plus 1 is 4. It's not 5, right? 3 plus 1 is 4, right, Liz? It's
Yes.
not 5.
Yes, it's 4.
Okay. So that's how we know it can't be option A.
It
Choice
can be
A is
right.
x can't be 1 because if x was 1, it'd be 3 plus 1, and 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 plus 1 is not 5.
Right.
Okay. Can x be 7? Let's see.
No.
Let's pretend x was 7. So I do 3 plus 7. Does that equal 5?
No.
Equals 10. So we know C is not the right answer. Okay?
Right.
That means all we're left with is B, which is 2. If I plug 2 in over here, I get 3 plus 2 is 5. And 5 is equal to 5, right?
Right.
So that's exactly what we're doing. Instead of saying, oh, let's do -3 and do 5 minus 3 and x equals 2, don't do algebra. Another way to solve this problem is by plugging in these numbers. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm saying, okay, let's plug in and pretend that everything that's showing up, the trait, let's pretend it's X-linked recessive.
Okay.
And then let's follow this through. And if it really is X-linked recessive, all these would match up and it would make sense. Okay? And the moment it doesn't, the moment we find out it's 3 plus 1 is 4 and 4 isn't equal to 5, that's how we knocked out that choice, right?
So if it was X-linked recessive, the male, this square would also be shaded?
No, we would
No?
do all the stuff that I did a second ago. See, I told you weren't paying attention.
I'm paying attention, but I don't.
No, earlier,
Oh.
when I was doing all of this, and the big X and the little a and the big A. Okay? So, I'm going to do my example again. 3 plus x is equal to 5, right? And we have to figure out what x is, right?
Right.
That makes sense so far, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now if I said choice 1, A was 1. Choice B was 2. Choice C was 7. Okay? So now what I'm telling you to do is let's pretend it was C. Let's plug it in. and see if that works, okay? So if x was 7, it would mean 3 plus 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is equal to 10, which is not 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means that 7 can't be the right answer, right?
Right.
So now I'm saying the same thing. Let's pretend and plug in X-linked recessive was everything that's showing up
Mm-hmm.
as the trait. So if uh, shaded means what again, Liz?
That is showing the trait.
That is showing the trait. So it's saying, can this be X-linked recessive? Okay, so that means that this would be X-linked recessive, this would be X-linked recessive, this would be X-linked recessive. All these guys would be X-linked recessive. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so now
Mm-hmm.
we're testing, just like how I put in the 7 to X over here. When I
Mm-hmm.
put in 7 to X and I was testing, does this equation still make sense? It doesn't. 3 plus 7 is 10. It's not 5. See how we broke the equation
Yeah.
and proved that it wasn't true? So that means that X can't be 7, right?
Right.
So we're going to do the same thing. So let's pretend that everything that where the trait is showing up is X-linked recessive. Okay? What does it mean for something
Mm-hmm.
to be X-linked recessive? It means it's on X, and we have two options. Recessive, which is little a, and
Mm-hmm.
dominant, which is
Okay.
big A, okay? So if it's
Mm-hmm.
showing up and it's X-linked recessive, that means that it can only be X little a, X little a, right?
Right.
Because if there's even one,
Okay, but it can't be because the next generation has a dominant.
well,
No?
we're gonna slowly prove it. We're gonna slowly prove it. But don't try and
Okay.
do these shortcuts. Because if you try and do these shortcuts, that's where you're gonna get confused. Okay?
Okay.
But just follow every step I'm doing right now. So if
Okay.
there's
Okay.
even one dominant, will the trait show? Let's say this is a girl, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
they're both X's. This is going to be a girl right here, okay? And we said the
Mm-hmm.
trait is X-linked recessive. You tell me, should I shade this girl in or should I leave her blank and white?
If she's X-linked recessive, she would
Yeah,
be
well,
shaded, right?
the trait is X-linked recessive. The trait is going to show up if when
Mm-hmm.
it's X-linked recessive. But I'm telling you that this is her genotype. She has one little a and she has one big A. So now tell me,
Mm-hmm.
should I shade her in or should I leave her blank?
Leave her blank
Leave her blank. Why?
because there's the dominant.
Because there's a dominant, right? If this is an
Mm-hmm.
X-linked recessive trait, there can't be any
Mm-hmm.
dominant, otherwise it's not going to show.
Right.
So you see why she's white and blank and not shaded in?
Mm-hmm.
Because she has one of these big A's.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we know? How about this girl right here? She's a girl, right? Because she's two
Mm-hmm.
X's.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you, again, we're pretending, just like here, we pretended X was 7.
Mm-hmm.
We're pretending that everything that's shaded is X-linked recessive. We're just
Right.
pretending, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is a girl, right? Because there's two
Mm-hmm.
X's. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, should she be shaded or should she be white?
Shaded
Shaded. Why?
because it's X-linked recessive.
Good. And if it's X-linked recessive, we can't even have one big A. If we have even one big
Right.
A, then that wins out and this person is no longer shaded. They're not showing the trait anymore. We said they
Mm-hmm.
only show the trait when they're X-linked recessive. Why are they showing the X trait when they're just because that's what we're just guessing. We're just assuming
Yeah,
for the
we're
sake
just
of our
pretending. Yeah.
yeah, we're just pretending. Just like here, we pretended X was 7, so we could see if the equation still makes sense. Right here, we're pretending that this is only going to show up when it's X-linked recessive. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So now, this person, is this a girl or is this a boy?
What did you say, Dr. Magic?
I said this person right here.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a girl or a boy?
That's a girl.
Girl. So are they going to have
Yeah.
XY, XX? What are they going to have?
XX.
XX. Good.
XA, XA.
Which A?
Little A.
Little a and
little a.
good. Very good. Makes sense, right? Makes sense why, right?
But that one is XY, so X A dominant.
Good. X big A.
Mhm.
Why? Does it make sense why it's
Because
X big A?
yeah, because it's not shaded.
Because it's not shaded. Good. Now, this one right here. Is she X? Is this a boy or a girl?
Girl, so 2X.
Two X's. Okay.
And it'll
Now,
be two little
well,
A's.
what hold on one second. Hold on one second. Okay. So now we have to, because we're assigning the genotypes here, right? Based
Mhm.
off of plugging it in. See how we
Mhm.
plugged this in and then we did that? Now we have to say,
Mhm.
is the rest of the equation consistent? See how we still went ahead and added 3 plus 7 equals 10 over here? Like we plugged in, so we let the system run. We let the equation run. We said, okay, let's, for
Mhm.
the sake of argument, pretend x is 7, and let's see what happens. The equation turned out to be equal to 10, right?
Mhm.
If we start off with this mom and this dad, what, based off of these two genotypes right here, what does this girl have to be? She's going to get one of these x's from her mom, right?
Mhm.
You can get one little, one of the x little a's from her mom, right?
Mhm.
What about from her dad? What is she going to get from her dad? She has to get the other x from her
Oh,
dad.
well, if she has a big A, wouldn't she get the big A?
Right. He can only give her a big A. So he would have to be able to give her, he would have to give her this. And if he gave
Oh,
her
so
that,
that's how we know that it's not. Oh, I feel so
thank you.
stupid. Oh my gosh, it all makes sense.
All you gotta do is pay
Wow.
attention.
Okay, that may I now I see why I can't just jump to conclusions.
Yes. You see exactly what I'm saying now, right? Just slow down and just listen to what I'm doing. Okay? So does that make sense now, what I'm saying?
What? That's Dr. Magic tutoring Bridget.
Oh, hey, Dr. Reach.
Oh, he said hi.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
What is he tutoring her in?
Bio.
Aw,
Okay.
that is so cool.
Mhm.
So does that
My
make
face
sense?
is right up next to the thing. It's like the ugliest thing ever.
Okay,
Okay, does that make sense what I
that
just did?
makes so much. Yes,
Okay.
yes,
So just like we're plugging in these values for x to figure it out. So just like, so now we disproved this, right?
yes.
We proved that
I'm
it can't be,
excited.
we proved that it can't be x-linked recessive, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So now we're gonna do the same thing. So we proved that it can't be C anymore, right?
Right.
So now let's evaluate option A. Let's pretend x is equal to 1. Okay? So we're gonna do 3 plus 1. And then we run the rest of we run the equation. 3 plus 1 is equal to
4.
4. 4 is not 5, right?
Right.
It is not 5. Okay?
Okay.
So that's how we disprove that the answer cannot be A, right?
Mhm.
So now let's do the same thing here. I'm just trying to show you what we're doing. So now we're going to pretend that everything that's showing the trait, let's pretend that the trait is autosomal recessive.
Mhm.
Okay. In order to be autosomal recessive, what does this have to be? Big A, little a, little
You
a, big A,
too.
little a. What does it have to be?
So it would have to be little a, little a.
Good. Little a, little a.
Mhm.
Okay, good. Now, what is this guy? What are the options for him?
Just X dominant A
Okay.
and Y, whatever.
Well, don't worry about X and Y because we're saying autosomal now.
Yeah.
So we're not worried about X and Y
Wait,
anymore.
what does autosomal mean?
Autosomal means not sex linked. It
That's
means,
it?
yeah, it just means when we're talking about
Oh.
A, big A, when we're talking about A and little a, and it's not connected to X and Y.
Okay.
So when it's X linked, it means the gene is on the X or the Y trait. I
Okay.
mean, specifically X because it says X linked.
Okay.
But it's no
So it's
longer
basically, but wouldn't it basically be the same as X-linked recessive because
not the same because
no?
when we're looking at X linked recessive
No,
and
I
sex
get it.
linked,
I get it. I get it. I'm looking at the sex. Okay.
yeah, when we're looking at X linked, we're also looking at sex. Here we don't care about sex anymore.
Okay.
We're saying it
Got it.
doesn't
Got
matter
it.
if it's a guy or a girl. That's not going to affect it anymore. Here,
Mm-hmm.
like here, it affected it. We proved it in just one step that it
Right.
couldn't be true. Okay. So now here
Mm-hmm.
we're saying it's autosomal recessive. So this one has to be little a, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about this person?
That one is it could be big A, little a, or big A, big A.
Good. It could be big A, little a. And what's the second option?
Big A, big A.
Big A,
Big A.
big A. Okay. So we have two options to evaluate. Okay. We have two theories to test. So let's just put this off to the side for right now. Okay. Let's put him off to the side for right now. Okay. We'll figure him out later. Because we just need to prove that it can work. We have to prove that it can't work with just one of these. If it can't work with just one of these, then we should be okay. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So now let's pretend that this is little a, and this is big A, little a. Okay. So now let's run the rest of this. Is it possible to end up with a girl that is little a, that is, this person has to be what? In order to show this, they have to be little a, right? Is that possible
Right.
from a little a
Yes.
mom and a big A, little a dad?
Well, no, because it has a dominant.
Well, it's possible
Or you.
for
Oh yes,
no,
it is because it can. Yeah,
right,
it is.
because
It is.
whenever
It is.
they pass an allele, they just pass one of them.
Yeah, it is. So it is
Even though this
possible.
person has big A, little a, they could have 8 kids and every single kid could have little a.
Yeah, it is
Okay?
possible.
Just having one of these and having one of these doesn't mean that you always give this 50% of the time and you always give this 50% of the time. Just like you know how some and Bridget, are you with me? Are you following along?
Yeah.
So you know how like you can have some like couples and they'll have a bunch of kids. They'll have 8 kids and every single kid is a boy or every single kid is a girl, right? So every time they have a kid, they could either give the X or they could either give the Y, the dad, right? He has both. But if all he has is 10 kids and all of them are girls, that means every single time he had the potential to give either an X or a Y. And he gave an X the first time. He gave an X the second time. He gave an X the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Every single time he gave an X. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So he has both options. He has the potential to give one of the two, but because it's probability every single time, it's a 50-50 chance. It's possible every time I flick a coin up, I can get heads every single time. It's just random, right? Right? So same thing with when they pass on these alleles. Even though he has both, it's random. Every single time he goes to pass it on, he could give the same one every single time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that make sense what I'm saying, Liz? Liz?
Yes, yes, yes. Dr. Magic, quick question.
Huh.
Do you remember the diagnosis code? Doctor, I'm sorry, you gave it to me. I forgot.
4?
It was like K something, K120, K1.
Diagnosis code for
Oh,
what?
no, never mind. I got it. Hold on. Dr. Beach, I got it. K08.89.
Hey Liz, are you paying attention? Liz? Are you there? when I just went through this the last time, Bridget, did it make sense? When I was
Yeah.
showing your mom?
Mhm.
Are you sure? You want me to
Yeah.
explain it again?
Mm, I mean, I think I understood it. So like you're doing the recessive one right now, right?
Why don't you finish it for me? So
Okay,
I'll
so
stop sharing and you start sharing. Okay. You start sharing your screen and you show it to me. You explain autosomal recessive to me.
wait, how do you share it though?
There should be a green button at the bottom.
Yeah, but then it shows like
It'll show all your different screens. And then if you hit just that one at the top left side that says screen, it'll share your entire screen. And then you just have to pull up the PowerPoint.
Sorry, Dr. Majid, it's because it was a pharmacy.
I was just making sure you understood what we were doing.
No, no, like I get it now. I see why you were saying that I can't just assume just because they're shaded. Because if it's X-linked, like I get it now.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of the question. It's showing
Yeah,
you a situation and saying, you tell me, you figure out, you play Sherlock Holmes, and you tell me,
yeah,
is this X-linked recessive? Is it autosomal recessive? Is it autosomal dominant?
yeah. It's actually fun once you actually understand it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's everything. Everything's fun when you understand what you're doing.
See, you'll have so much fun with your insurance too. You'll love it.
I'm looking forward to it. Are you able to share it,
Comfortable.
Bridget?
no, it doesn't show me the
When you hit
thing.
share screen,
What the heck?
does it
So
show?
slow.
Does it give you a screen option?
Yeah, but it doesn't show like
Once you hit screen, then it'll just share your entire screen. Now you just go to your on your computer and find the PowerPoint, and I should be able to see it.
this is desktop one.
Yeah, click that.
Okay.
For pumpkin. And the earth and juice? What?
It's not working. I don't know why it's not letting me press it.
Okay, that's fine.
The stuff I ordered from, what's her face? Sarah. Red hair Sarah. For her kids.
Oh, like they sell the shit at school.
Yeah. Yeah. She asked everything.
To a pumpkin roll.
All right, Liz.
Which one is the pumpkin?
Hey, Liz.
Yeah, I'm here.
Let's finish this up. Just
Okay.
because I want to make sure you understand it, because if just in case you need to explain to Bridget, then you understand it too.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so
I'm listening.
it made sense what I said, right? About why
Yes, I
X-linked
get it
recessive can
why.
be.
Right, I got that clear.
Okay, now we're testing. Will autosomal recessive work? Okay,
Okay.
and you're 100% right. This is little a, and this can be big
Mm-hmm.
A, little a, or big A, big A,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we said we're gonna put this one off to the side for a little bit, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because we only need to test one and make sure if one breaks the system, then none of it can work. Okay. Like if it doesn't, if it has to make sense for both of them for this to be able to
Okay.
work. Okay. And if it doesn't make sense for even one of them, then we can just go ahead and cross off this whole thing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Even if this one
Yeah.
works and this one doesn't, it can't work for
Mhm.
this because we found a scenario where it doesn't work for autosomal recessive. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say this is big A, little a. Can this
Mhm.
girl exist from this dad and this mom?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get a little a.
So we would have to go to the next step, right?
Yeah. And then can this boy exist from this mom and this dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, because she can give a little a and he
Right.
can give
K08.89. Yes.
Oh, and
Acute
that's when
dental
he
pain.
gets the bigger A.
exactly. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, from this one, in order for him to exist, he has to be what? Well, we can do the same thing here. We can
Yeah,
say this one is
little a,
little a,
and then
big
big
A,
A, little a.
big A, little a. Okay. Now,
Mhm.
can this boy exist from this parent over here?
No. Wait. Yeah.
Yeah, right? Because she can give a little
Mhm.
a and he can give a
Yeah.
little a, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we have little a marrying another little a, little a. Okay?
Mhm.
See how this one doesn't show it?
Mhm.
That means he can be big A, little
Little
a,
A.
or big A, right?
Yeah.
One of the two. But see how it's impossible for him to exist because one parent was little a, the other parent was also little a, little a. They can
Yeah.
only give little a's. Where did this big A come from?
Mhm.
It can't exist, right?
Yeah.
So that's how we just disproved that it can't be
Oh,
autosomal recessive.
I got it. That makes sense.
Okay? See how we just disproved that?
Mhm.
Now,
Yes.
I
Okay.
don't even need to go in and follow and prove, like, I don't need to
Okay.
run the whole hypothesis for this. I just disproved the other two ones. So I know automatically that B is the right answer.
Okay. I get it. I get it.
Okay?
Wow. Look at the amazing teacher.
Well, I'm not that amazing because I
Yes,
want to
you are.
show, I want to see, I want Bridget to show me that she can do it, but I don't have the ability for her to share her screen. Oh, you know what we could have done, Bridget? Actually, that would have been more work. Um, that's why when you get home, Liz, I want you to
Mhm.
do this exact same thing and have
Mhm.
her explain all these different versions to you
Okay.
because she's having trouble sharing her screen. Like I can't see her screen, so I
Okay.
can't test her.
Okay.
So, but
But this was good because I literally was so confused on this.
on this pedigree, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
I was just assuming like, oh, well, most of them are shaded, so it's dominant.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work like that.
But now I get it. I was just so confused, but now I get it.
Good.
Yeah, it makes
Okay.
sense.
Just because they're all
Mhm.
shaded doesn't mean they're all dominant. Just like I showed that to you here.
Yeah.
All right, this session's about to end, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it right now.
Okay.